Let's go. My name's Akey. Welcome to our first look at Hellion. I'm going to be quiet during the opening scene.
It was the dawn of the 23rd century when mankind finally dared leave the confines of Earth. With the last of the unification wars behind them, fusion power and interstellar travel in their hands, they turned their attention to a distant star. They named it Hellion. Work began on the expedition project, a massive undertaking with a singular purpose: to give humanity a new home beneath an alien sky. The journey would take almost a century.
It's all over. The expedition has fallen apart. Hellion is a war zone. The damn plan was a mistake. It was insane right from the start. But we can't turn back now. I just pray that someone can survive this.
Welcome to our first look at Hellion. What is Hellion? It is a first-person space survival game. I've had my eye on this game since about a year ago, and right now we're lucky enough to have pre-alpha access. It comes out in early access on Friday. You're able to buy it for $24. I'll put a link in the description below. But anyways, we're going to check this out. I've spent about an hour in-game trying to get ourselves together. Right now, it'd be like, oh, damn, no one's playing this. That's because it's not released it's not released for people to buy it, so only people that stream or have YouTube channels or press copies, that's the only people that have access to this right now. So I wanted to share this with you guys. There's a lot going on with it. There's a high level of detail. The developers have paid a ton of attention to the little things within the game, and you'll see here. So I'm going to take us through the beginning scenario and kind of take it from there. So you start in this cryo chamber type deal, and so as we gain consciousness here, you'll see that it takes just a half second, and then here we go, we're out of here. There we are. Welcome to Hellion. Okay, so right now we're on kind of an old space station type deal. I don't want to call it defunct, but there's not a whole lot to it in the grand scheme of things. But throughout this game, you'll see a lot of things like this is an environmental control panel. You find these in a lot of interior rooms. All of these things are functional: gravity, pressure, air quality, temperature. If your air quality dips below a certain level, you actually inhale poisonous gas. A couple things here. You got some med kits. We'll swap a few of those. Here's our inventory. Over here you have cargo interaction. You can transport cargo from the outside. You can put things into canisters. But let's head over here. And right here is there's where the goods are. Let's put on let's actually drop this for a second because we don't have a backpack. So we'll put on our armor here. We'll slap on our helmet. Nicely done. And then here's an interesting thing. So here's a jetpack, right? So there's a charging station. So these charging stations can charge your rifles, batteries, or jetpacks. For us, what we want to do is we want to start to charge that jetpack. We'll go ahead and see what's in the ammo supply drawer. Pick everything up. There's a large attention to detail throughout this game. So for example, let's go ahead and check out the life support system. So we have an air generator, which is currently offline, and an air filter, which is currently offline. We can turn these online should we so choose to do so. It tells you the parts that are needed to run this generator. So here you need a servo motor and a resource injector, and the air filter, which is on standby. Looks like it's missing 2 carbon filters, it has a servo motor and an air processor. So let's go ahead and okay, so that's ready to go. So that's just waiting for those 2 things to be turned on. Let's turn that on one more time. The other thing here, it tells you a list of all the rooms here on this particular station. So we have a couple of corridors, a couple of shafts. Pretty straightforward. But all this stuff is interactive within whatever space station or ship that you're in. So in terms of level of detail, it's pretty serious. All right, so here's our power supply here. There's solar panels. Can we turn these on? Turning those on. So these solar panels lead to this capacitor, which could store energy for a later usage. So our output 0, our consumption. There we go. So now we turned on our solar generator. We should be charging a battery. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but those lights turned on. Very cool. Over here, we have an air filter. Well, Dan, what do you need an air filter for? Put your carbon filters in there. Over here, we have life support. I'm telling you, there's a lot of detail. There's a lot of components you can interact with, make sure they're up and running. So we have a regulator here and a air filter there. So there's a little ductway we could go through. If we hit this button, it removes the artificial gravity, which means we would now be floating in the area. We're not going to do that just yet. What we are going to do is take a look and see what's in this crate. So we've got some pressure regulators, some filters, and some CO2 filters. So lots of things here. And we're going to pick up this ore canister. Why? Why the heck not? And then we'll pick up some of these med kits just in case. And let's put that in our backpack. Or in a spot. Large med pack. Let's just drop that for now. All right. So our jetpack should be charged. Let's go ahead and equip that. Over here is a distress beacon. So all this stuff works. So if we hit this, which we are going to do, now you'll see if you're outside of this ship, you'll see on the world map, which we'll get to in a little bit, you'll see a distress beacon coming off this station that we're on. So next up, let's go ahead and go in the airlock. So this is a functional airlock. You'll now see that we're floating in a non-efficient manner. We want to turn on our jetpack here. So now we can EVA around a bit. Now, let's go ahead and close this door permanently so we can depressurize. Now, the question is, if we open this door now, we're going to get sucked out. So I haven't figured out a way to depressurize this just yet. So we don't want a manual open. We want that thing to be permanently closed. So over here, that's docking control, docking clamps. We're gonna get sucked out of here, unfortunately. So here we go. Okay. So it's okay. So because of our jetpack, we're able to counteract that, but otherwise we would have got chucked. All right, so here was the space station we were on. You see there's even stuff on the outside of here to interact with. So there's our solar panels that we deployed. Let's just see what this is. So in the event that the solar panel goes down, there would be some sort of component to fix here, most likely to do with that servo motor. So let's say, okay, Dan, well, you just left your space station. Now what? Well, what have we here? Is this a ship that maybe designated for us? It is. And as you pull up, you're like, oh, damn, that ship doesn't look very big. We're going to coast into this very carefully. But it's actually a fairly large ship, and we're coming in way too hot. So it does take a minute to get used to the controls in this game, because it's very spatially accurate, right? So if we're coming in hot, we're going to overshoot this thing. And you can see in the bottom right corner, we have jetpack and RCS stabilization. So when we stabilize, it makes things a little bit easier, but it also burns some of your power. So here's our entry point. And you see all those blue lights? There's all components on there that can be altered and maintained, which is I think this is gonna make for a really interesting experience. All right, so let's go ahead and get ourselves on this ship carefully. Okay, so that won't open for us. So what we need to do is slide over here and adjust the pressure. So we're actually going to pressurize. Want to depressurize. Is that correct? We want to put the pressure on the outside door, so this thing will remove the pressure inside the bay door, so these doors will open. So as that loads, you can see that this is all fully functioning. The systems in this game are fully functioning. And I think this game is going to have some legs to it. There's just so much detail. And I've been looking forward to playing this for a while. So as we're going to wait patiently because I don't want to burn our jetpack and get ourselves out of position. One may infer that when these doors open, we're going to get sucked in. So now that it's pressurized, we can open it. Okay, we didn't get sucked in. That's okay. Okay, so now we're in the pressurization chamber of the ship. So let's go ahead and see what's going on this ship here. Air filtering unavailable, pressure regulation offline. So this is for this specific room. So as a result, what do we have here? Docking control we don't care about. Let's go ahead and... We don't care about yet. Let's go ahead and hit this button. No! No! I thought that was going to close the door, but I think what that did, I think that just depressurized the inside of the spaceship. So what we should have done is close this exterior door here. And then, oh, we're coming in really hot. And then we would have been all right. But this door should be open. It is. Okay, so let's enter the ship now. There we go. And then I'm going to guess, based on the red light, there's no oxygen in here. So let's go ahead and close the door. Get this thing depressurized. The other thing you'll see here, look at that glass window, and here it says toggle lock. So you can't see it here, but that actually is going to work. I don't necessarily know if it's functioning on this door, but it does work in other scenarios. So let's see what's going on here. Environmental control, air quality is poor, so we want to repressurize. Get ourselves back together here. Hope that's depressurized or repressurized. I need to learn the difference. But our external pressure, okay, we want to pressurize it. Got it. All right, so back here, so now we're on the ship, right? So let's go ahead and just kind of give you the lay of the land. Pressure hazard. Okay, so we got to wait for this to get repressurized. And we totally botched that operation, right? So there was a right way to do that and a not right way. All right, so air filtering is standing by. Pressure regulation is active. Okay, good. So as you see in the bottom left-hand corner, the pressure of the internal cabin is slowly getting back to where it needs to be, which is good. Let's take a look at our power supply here. We have a fusion reactor inside the ship, which seems to be working properly. We'll go ahead and turn on our capacitor, store some power. Looks like our solar panels are not online, but let's go ahead and turn those on so that'll start to generate some more power. So let's see, as that power's on, our output should increase. There we go. It just did by 1,000. And then are the lights turned on? Let's turn on our second solar panel, just so we can do it. So one from cool down, we want to power it up. Oh, Dan, stop clicking the button so fast. Just have a little patience. I got you. All right, so that's on cool. There we go. So that's powering up. That's good. So our power's all good to go here. Our oxygen looks like it's coming back online. Everything's good, and on we go. All right, so you got to be careful in terms of what you're doing. What do we have here? We'll take a rifle. And where'd she go? Oh, there she is. So here's our rifle. And let's go ahead and pick up some mags here. Just for later. We may or may not use it. And here we've got some more helmets and jetpacks. Not necessary right now. Let's actually just put this off the side for a second. We've got our air filters. So carbon filters here. So all these systems you should see on every habitable space station or ship we go on. So life support, air filtration, air generator, power. It's just the devs have left nothing to be desired from a accuracy standpoint. So this is more what I was talking about. At least I know this one works for sure. So here's the main door to the bridge, and then or to the pilot area, and then what we can do here is you're going to see toggle lock. So when you lock that, this is now locked, so no one from the outside can get in. However, it's my understanding that there's certain hacking tools you can get. On the outside, there's a panel. Let's see if we can show this to you guys. So the lock is now off. And this is something like just to cross over in Star Citizen would be really useful, right? If you want to lock people out, you can do that. But there's like an access panel here. I'm not sure if it's implemented yet, but the idea is that you'll able to use a hacking tool on the outside panel of the door so you could hack your way in. So it's kind of a counterbalance. But anyways, let's close this. We have some life support specific to the front of this ship. Let's go ahead and turn on our distress beacon. So the distress is on, which is cool. Let's turn this off and see if it turns off. It is now off. So up here we have the pilot seat. We're going to sit down there in a second. Got a lot of stuff to take a look at there. And then down here, here's kind of like, this is the warp drives, right? So this is what powers the ability to jump from one system or one jump to another. Oops. Hang on here. Looks like we clicked on the ladder, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and we'll jump down here. Looks like this is empty. Normally there's something in there. So we got our warp cells here. Good to go. And right here is just a nice bay here. So this is underneath the pilot seat. So could be good for navigation, hanging out, having a cool beverage nonetheless. Let's hop in our pilot seat and see what we have to offer. All right, so there's a bunch of systems within this. So to our far left, what do we have here? Number one, this is a navigation panel. So here's where we are. Here at 12 objects in orbit. All this stuff. So let's double click here. Distress signals too. This is crazy, man. All right. So I believe this is the system we're in, if I'm not mistaken. There's a distress signal here with junk. We can go explore all these things, which I'm looking forward to doing. So we got some asteroids. All right, so there's a way to scan this place, right? So we just scan the general area, tells you what's around. 2 distress signals. Got it. All right, so let's back out of there. Let's go back in. I don't know how to tab out yet. So like I'd like to go back. Home station. There we go. So we click on the home station, see what happens. It takes a second to load because we are on a server. So this is us. Apparently a junk 3D 61C8 OB. Zoom to parent. Let's see what that does. Okay, so this is the main deal. All right, so needless to say, there's going to be a lot to explore. At least, I don't know the level of content and what's at those individual locations, but it's going to be fun to check out. All right, so let's back out of this. Let's take a look at our second panel over, which is docking. So in this game, you're able to dock to other things. In particular, when you build a base, you can add modules, but you're going to have to specifically dock to other things to do so. And then this panel. What is this one? Navigation SCN. It's not letting us interact with those. So on the left-hand side, you can see our engines are off. Our FTL's off. I believe cap means the captain area is pressurized and our life support is good. I do want to see what that is, though. Can't use that. Can't use that. And FTL is not working just yet. So let's go ahead and we should be able to. I need FTL. I can't read. What does that say? There we go. Engines. Can we turn those on? Engines are now online. Okay, we can zoom in. Navigation, docking, HL. Can't read what that says. SCN, FTL. So how does that... Okay, whatever we just did, we hit it. Engine status is on cooldown. What do we got here? Contacts in the area. SCN. I don't. So I still have to learn what a lot of this stuff is, clearly, but FTL is now powered. Engine is offline. Let's turn our engine on. Oh, we've done it. Engine's yellow light. It's not green light. Green light yet. It's on cooldown. All right. Okay, so let's take control of this ship and see what's out here. So right now it's my understanding that we are navigating strictly by FCS or by thrusters. I don't know. Looks like our FTL is ready to go, and you're able to warp. I don't know exactly how to do that just yet, but I would like to. Oh, so you got to be very patient. Maybe not so much patient, but get a grip on these controls here. Because our engines aren't on, we're just using some minor thrustage to get there. So I don't know what this is right here, but let's try and check it out. Spacebar. All right, good. So we're trying to get here. FTL is powered on. I don't know how to jump yet, but looks like we're headed in reverse, right? Let me take a look at this real quick. If we go... So the cool thing about this game is you have to interact with everything to essentially take control of it. So in that moment, I hit escape, and then essentially what that did is it took our hands off the controls. So let's see, is there is a thrust. Engine toggle. Engine thrust up, engine thrust down. Okay, good. So that's important. So keypad plus and minus. So our engines are not online. So let's take a seat here again. Turn our engines back online. Looks like... Okay, does it tell us where our engines... How far our engines are being active? Engines are on cooldown. Numpad plus. Yeah, it looks like we're still headed in reverse according to this. Hold on. Yeah. Alright, well. Let's see if we can get these ships in front of us. Oh. Okay. I'm going to have to do a little tutorial on how to use the ship engines. I thought we had it, but we could be, maybe because we don't have any fuel. I'm guessing that. Just looking at the two gauges on our left, you see engine at kind of empty, and RCS does have some juice in it. But let's head towards the ship here. I don't know why it keeps jerking like that. We could attempt to do some docking here. Are we moving in the right direction? Let's look at our HUD here. Yeah, we're coming in hot. 57 meters per second. There's like some space debris out there. I was going to say debris. So let's see if we can go to our docking panel here for a second. All right. Please select docking modules in range. Okay, so there's a ship about 1.3 kilometers away. Targeted module, available docking port. Okay, so that you are able to do this. How just yet? I don't know. We're spinning out of control. So let's do this. I think there is a way to actually target a specific thing. Let's take a look at this real quick. Targeting is T. Okay. Okay, that's crazy, man. All this stuff is interactive, so that radar actually works. Let's try this one more time. Let's go to our take a seat here as we're spinning out of control. There's got to be some way to get fuel as well. For us, let's go back to docking real quick. Let's see if we can target. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little more research on this, but we're pretty far away. So let's see if we can. I don't know how it's gonna work with there's like a warp gate, but let's try this. Let's back out here. Let's go to our navigation. SCN. What the heck does SCN mean? Reverse fuel. Okay, we're okay there. There's our contacts. Oh, headlight. That's what that is. All right, let's go to our navigation then. Let's see if we can make a jump. This is could be risky business, but we'll do what we can. Is there some kind of a jump gate? So as we double click on Calypso and it loads in, add custom orbit. Calypso in orbit of Herath. Wow, so can we change this? Coordinate 1 in orbit of Calypso. So you can actually change where you enter orbit. That's very cool. So let's just say that's what we want to do. Are we ready? I mean, the chance of us getting this right on the first try is slim and none, but we'll give it one college try here. So get back in the pilot seat. Let's see if is there like a jump gate. Hit the FTL drive. Oh, we just turned it off. Okay, so it had been on. I don't know. It may be too forward thinking of me to understand. I'll just be able to slide in here and understand how to jump ourselves to another warp zone, or to another orbit. But that being said, a lot of interesting stuff to learn here, and I'm excited to check it out. We'll be putting up some future episodes of this as we explore the game and figure out how to jump and hopefully fill this gas tank so we can get our engines going. But nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed this first look at Helion, you can let me know by clicking the like button. I just think this being in a game where up to 100 people could play per server, I think there's a lot of possibilities of cool scenarios and interesting things happen given the detail of each ship and all the systems within the ship. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to checking out the survival game. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We play a lot of space games on the channel, cover a lot of Star Citizen. And if you guys want to check out more, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Helion comes out on Friday in early access for $25, and it will be in the link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.